Ladies and gentlemen of the ton, today you may lend me your ear as we discuss season 2 versus season 1 of Bridgerton. What did they get right? What did they get wrong? Okay, I'm done with the bad accent. Okay, I would like to start with first just having a look at the characters. So the main characters that I'm going to talk about are Kate versus Daphne, Anthony versus Simon, and then just a couple of other characters that kind of stuck out to me this season. Season 2, we're introduced to Kate. So Kate is the older sister of... She's Kate Sharma. She's the older sister of, and I forget the younger sister's name. And basically, her character is incredibly independent, very spirited. She is somebody who is very countercultural. She doesn't accept the traditional role of a woman. She rides horses astride. She hunts with the men. She's very competitive. So she carries a lot of traits that are not considered particularly feminine. In contrast, Daphne in season 1 is very much the traditional woman. She has drunk the Kool-Aid on what it is to be what the ultimate ambition of a woman is in that society, which is to be a wife and to be a mom. And that's what Daphne wants. She wants her own family. She wants a husband, and that is ultimately her ultimate ambition, much to the criticism of Lwazzz, her younger, independent, spirited, rebellious tomboy of a sister. So these two characters automatically from season 2 to season 1, our leading ladies, are very different from one another. Okay, well, initially from the onset, those two characters appear to be incredibly different from one another. But as the series goes on in season 2, especially when you think about, towards the end of season 1, you realize that Daphne and both Kates are similar in the sense that they both carry a strength. There is a strength of character that both of them have. There is a strength of character in Daphne, even though she appears to be incredibly naive. And that came through in the way she dealt with Simon and how she implemented boundaries with him when she found out he had lied to her. But generally speaking, I think traditionally from the onset, you would look at a woman like Kate and call her strong, and look at a woman like Daphne and call her naive, innocent, and you'd associate her more with being not as strong as Kate. And Kate's strength is more on the outside. It's external. You see it immediately. Kate is a very combative personality, and it is kind of overbearing. I don't know how Anthony was attracted to that. Kate is overbearing in her combativeness. She'll fight about anything. She'll argue about anything. And honestly, in real life, most men are not going to do what Anthony did. They're not going to see how combative you are and get turned on by it. They're going to get turned off by it. This is a very female perspective, to think that a man will see how combative you are and he will fight to overcome your combativeness, and he'll be turned on by it, and it'll be a challenge. It'll be sexy to him. In real life, if you're combative like that, men are bye, peace. They don't stick around to deal with an argumentative woman. They find an argumentative woman annoying. And so Kate had that combative personality that was borderline overbearing. But luckily for her, she's really attractive. And so, that compensated. Which brings us to our leading men. That's Anthony and Simon. So Anthony versus Simon. So in season 2, there is more of a focus on Anthony. Anthony being the oldest brother of the Bridgerton family. He's incredibly protective of his siblings. He carries the responsibility of being the oldest as a burden. You can see that he views it more as it's burdensome than anything else. He walks around like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. He's very irritable. He's very short-tempered. And in season 1, he made a vow that he's not going to focus on marriage. He's going to focus on just finding a wife that is practical and sweet and submissive, and that's it. He's not going to focus on falling in love. And so in season 2, we see that objective being challenged by Kate Sharma when he sees her and starts to find himself falling in love with her. Simon and Anthony, for me, are more similar than they are different. Both of them have daddy issues for different reasons. Anthony has daddy issues because his dad died, and that created abandonment issues in him. Simon has daddy issues because his dad denied him. His dad basically was a deadbeat dad. He wasn't present in his life, which created abandonment issues. And both of these men have allowed their abandonment issues to affect their willingness to fall in love. And so we find in season 2 an Anthony that is very similar to Simon, both headstrong, both very confident, both very much like alpha males, and both of them have daddy issues, and both of them have allowed their daddy issues to create intimacy issues. All right, if I look at the couples and rate them based on chemistry, so if I say Anthony and Kate versus Simon and Daphne. So obviously Simon and Daphne had a lot more chemistry from the get-go. In season 1, there were a lot more steamy scenes, there were a lot more love scenes, there was a lot more like nudity, and in season 2 there was a lot more anticipation. And I think that it worked very well to completely tone down like the sexual energy of the show. Actually, they didn't tone down the sexual energy. They toned down the sex scenes. But I think it was a good move because we needed to feel that anticipation, that desire, that frustration. Because with Kate and with Anthony, it was a forbidden desire. Like, Kate's sister had already been promised to Anthony. Like, her sister was already into Anthony, and so her acting on her feelings with Anthony was just something that she couldn't do. And Anthony, because he's an honorable guy with integrity, he also couldn't act, on his feelings for Kate. And so theirs was a very forbidden desire, and so we had to feel that anticipation. And so I understood the move to, there wasn't even much kissing in season 2 compared to season 1. Not only was there much kissing, but there was like a ton of sex. But in season 2, they completely toned down the sex scenes, and it made total sense, and it worked very well because what it did was it created that sense of anticipation. But there were some storylines where I was like, well, this is very whatever. Like the boxer and his bar, and Colin almost being defrauded. And for me, that was a bit like whatever. The other thing that felt like a bit whatever to me was the art school. So the brother who's like on drugs and he's like an artist and he's like irresponsible. I didn't get the point of him and the art school business and Anthony buying him a spot at the art school. I don't know. Is that season 2 or is that season 1? That might actually be season 1. Sorry, I might be confusing seasons. Oh, you see. Season 2 was good. It was good. It was okay. Not as amazing as season 1, but it was okay. I wonder what's going to happen with season 3. I don't know if season 3 will do well to like maintain the interest level, because season 1 the interest level was like up here. Season 2 it's dropped a little bit, I feel like, and then season 3 we'll see how that goes. But for me, there's obviously a bit of a formula to these stories, so I'm curious to see how season 3 plays out. I have not read the books, so this review is not in terms of the books, and I do want to be clear, I have not read the books, so please, I'm reviewing this show as a viewer of the show, as a fan of the show. I have not read the books at all, so just bear that in mind. Okay, thank you for watching.